Among the long list of guests, one name glittered differently for Chinese fans: Tong Liya, the Xinjiang-born actress whose elegance and on-screen charm had made her one of China's most beloved stars. She had just come out of a difficult year, personally and professionally, and was quietly rebuilding herself. What nobody expected, not even the event organizers, was that the two would be seated at the same table. "They didn't stop talking all night," recalled a staff member who worked the event. "We thought they knew each other already because they were laughing like old friends. It was only later we found out that was the very first time they met." By the end of the evening, whispers had already started. Junho, known for his quiet, almost shy demeanor off-screen, seemed unusually relaxed with Liya. She, in turn, appeared genuinely captivated, leaning in, smiling more than she had been seen in months. That night, a seed was planted. If the tabloids are to be believed, the first sign of something brewing came 2 months later. Lee Junho was spotted in Shanghai during what his agency claimed was a private trip. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, Tong Liya had been filming nearby. Multiple sources tell the same story. The two shared several quiet dinners, always in private rooms of upscale but discreet restaurants. They were careful, but not careful enough. A grainy photograph surfaced online showing a man who looked very much like Junho walking behind Liya into a black sedan. His baseball cap was pulled low, her scarf wrapped high. But fans are not easily fooled. The internet lit up. Korean fans speculated. Chinese fans debated. Their agencies denied any romantic involvement, issuing the standard line: "They're good friends and colleagues." But according to one person close to Liya, the friendship was already something deeper. "She told me he was different from anyone she had met before," the source said. Junho made her feel safe. They would talk for hours, not about work, but about family, childhood memories, their fears, even the pressures of fame. Through 2022, their connection deepened, but they maintained a careful distance in public. They met in Seoul under the cover of film festivals. They exchanged visits to each other's sets under the guise of supporting international collaboration. "They had to be creative," laughed one crew member from a drama Liya was shooting in Hainan. Once, Junho came to visit as a costume consultant for a historical drama. "We all knew it was ridiculous, but nobody said anything." In private, they were just like any other couple. They cooked meals together in Liya's apartment in Beijing. They walked along the Han River late at night when Junho visited Seoul. They sent each other little videos of their daily lives. Junho practicing dance moves in his rehearsal studio, Liya feeding street cats outside her building. By early 2023, close friends say the relationship had become serious enough that marriage was no longer just a dream, it was a plan. It happened in April 2023 in Jeju Island. Liya had been told she was attending a small private charity gala in Korea. She was dressed in a soft blue evening gown, hair swept up, expecting polite conversation and a few speeches. Instead, halfway through the evening, the lights dimmed. A screen began playing a video montage, photographs of the two of them together, some from public events, some from private trips. Then Junho walked on stage, holding a simple white envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter in Korean, which he read aloud, voice trembling. "We live in a world where every step is watched, every smile judged. But with you, Liya, I am not Lee Junho, the actor. I am just a man, and you are the woman I love. Will you marry me?" Witnesses say Liya was frozen for a moment, tears in her eyes. Then she nodded, and the room erupted in applause. The engagement was not made public, at least not immediately. The two wanted to tell their families first, then decide how and when to share it with the world. By August 2023, the secret was impossible to keep. Rumors of their engagement had leaked to a small Chinese entertainment blog, which ran the headline, "Tong Liya to marry Korean star Lee Junho?" Within hours, the story went viral. Social media split into two camps, one ecstatic at the thought of such a high-profile cross-national marriage, the other skeptical about cultural and career compatibility. Under pressure, the couple released a joint statement. "We are happy to share that we are planning our future together. Thank you for respecting our privacy as we prepare for this important step." It was official. The world had a new celebrity wedding to anticipate. Planning the wedding became a media circus. Every detail, the venue, the dress designer, even the guest list was leaked and analyzed. Paparazzi swarmed their movements. Korean tabloids claimed the ceremony would be in Seoul, while Chinese outlets insisted it would be in Lia's hometown in Xinjiang. Behind the scenes, however, cracks were starting to show. They were exhausted, said a stylist who worked with Liya during that period. They were in different countries most of the time, juggling insane schedules. And there were disagreements about the wedding location, about whether to have a public ceremony or a private one. More troubling were the whispers about pressure from both sides' management teams. A cross-national marriage between two A-list stars carried commercial and political sensitivities. Endorsement deals were at risk. Contracts had clauses about maintaining national image. One entertainment lawyer, speaking anonymously, explained, there were fears about how this would affect marketability in each other's countries. It's not just love at that level. It's business, and business can be ruthless. It was December 2023. The invitations were reportedly already printed. The wedding was set for February 2024 in a private ceremony on Jeju Island. Then, without warning, Lee Junho's agency released a short statement. After careful consideration, Lee Junho and Tong Liya have decided not to proceed with their marriage. They will remain close friends and colleagues. We ask for understanding and respect for their privacy. The shock was immediate. Fans flooded social media with disbelief. Rumors exploded. Everything from infidelity to political interference was speculated. Neither Junho nor Liya gave interviews. They disappeared from public view for weeks. Insiders tell a different story. One source close to Junho said the decision was mutual but heartbreaking. They loved each other deeply, but the pressure was crushing. They couldn't have a simple relationship. Every decision became a negotiation. Every moment a headline. Another friend of Lia's revealed that family approval had been a quiet but constant issue. Her parents liked Junho, but they worried about her moving to another country. They were afraid she would lose her roots. When they finally reappeared in public, Junho at a fan meeting in Seoul, Liya at a charity event in Beijing, both looked noticeably thinner. They smiled, but their eyes told a different story. Liya returned to work on a historical epic in early 2024, throwing herself into long days on set. Junho focused on his next music comeback and drama project. Fans noticed that they still liked each other's posts on social media, but they never appeared together again. Industry insiders insist there is no bad blood. They still talk, one Korean producer said. But it's different now. The world they live in doesn't make room for that kind of love. Looking back, the story of Lee Junho and Tong Liya feels like a modern fairy tale that couldn't survive the real world. It had all the elements: the unexpected meeting, the whirlwind romance, the grand proposal, and yet, like many things in the entertainment industry, it was built on fragile foundations. Perhaps they were victims of their own fame. Perhaps the distance was too great. Perhaps the business of being celebrities simply crushed the joy out of being two people in love. Whatever the reason, the wedding that Asia was ready to celebrate will remain forever as the one that never happened. For fans, their story is a bittersweet reminder that even the most glamorous relationships face the same challenges as any other, only magnified 100 times by fame, public scrutiny, and cultural expectations. For Junho and Liya, it seems the decision to part ways was an act of love in itself, a choice to protect each other from a future they weren't ready to face. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in a quiet restaurant in Shanghai, or under the soft night lights along the Han River, they still remember the days when it was just two people laughing like old friends at a dinner they were never meant to share.